Dear young adult, I just wanted to, from the depth of my heart, to warmly welcome you to this wonderful meeting. I think of it as a season of discovery, of decision, of dedication, of fellowship, of togetherness. Decision for God, discovery of who God is and all that He has for us, and just a time of awesome fellowship with every young adult leader that is here present. Now, you're special to God, and you're special to us, and I'm just so excited that you're able to make it to this meeting. Now, and every year, like many of you, my own heart yearns for something new in my relationship and walk with the Lord. And this desire stems from just a sense of spiritual insufficiency, a dissatisfaction with the degree and the distance of my personal spiritual progress and walk with God. Part of this desire too stems from the prompting of the Holy Spirit, which who never wants to leave us satisfied with where we are. And then a glimpse of the giants of faith who have gone ahead of us and whose examples beckon to us to follow unto perfection. Paul spoke about following unto perfection. He was pursuing something or pursuing someone that seemed invisible before him. But he kept pursuing. And also just a sense of, I could call it despair, maybe helplessness at just my own inability to effectively impact a dying world that desperately needs rescue and recovery. So with all the pressures that we face and with all other loves that hungrily, beckon on us to keep us from pursuing God, we must do our very best to prevent stagnancy, self-sufficiency, and self-satisfaction. So the question I'm asking myself, and I'm constantly asking myself this, and I know as you are, especially with the conference that we have, is what is the path to spiritual renewal? What is the path to spiritual power? What is the path to a deep communion and fellowship with God? As a young person, I asked these questions when I was younger, and I still ask the same questions. Our fathers spoke about, there's a phrase that our fathers used to use, it's called spiritual freshness. What is the secret to remaining fresh spiritually and to press on to perfection? Where can we find God, and how can we find God? How can we grow in our relationship with Him? Well, A.W. Tozer is very helpful. He wrote the all-time classic, The Pursuit of God. And he said many years ago, he said, God speaks to those who care to listen. And Tozer himself had begun his lifetime pursuit of God at the age of 17 after hearing a street preacher in Akron, Ohio. And then he went on to become a self-taught theologian, a pastor, a writer. Many consider him a prophet, not in the sense of foretelling the future, but in the sense of speaking very insightful and piercing words to his generation. And many generations afterward have profited immensely from him. And his powerful words still grip and stir many souls and many hearts of believers today. And he is very helpful. There's a book of his I'm reading. It's called Born After Midnight. Born After Midnight. And I just want you to listen to what he says in this book, Born After Witness. It's in the preface to the book. And he says, revivals are born after midnight. Think of Nicodemus coming to Jesus in the night. And for him, after midnight represented his own new birth. Tozer also says that, yet for all God's goodwill towards us, He still is unable to grant us our heart desires till all our desires have been reduced to one. When we have dealt with our carnal ambitions, when we have trodden upon the lion and adder of the flesh, when we have trampled the dragon of self-love under our feet and have truly reckoned ourselves to have died unto sin, then and only then can God raise us to newness of life and fill us with His blessed Holy Spirit. It is easy to learn the doctrine of personal revival and victorious living. It is quite another thing to take our cross and plod on to the dark and bitter hill of self-renunciation. Here, many are called and few are chosen. And so you are one of the chosen. God has selected you for something special, and I want you to take this. It's a day, but take it as a day of visitation. We have incredible ministers, and I'm thrilled and I'm mightily excited at the extraordinary servants of God that He's prepared to use to kindle the flame of passion and the pursuit of God in our hearts and lives. They too, the people you're going to be hearing in the plenary session, in the prayer sessions, they are men that are searching for the glory of God. They are yearning for more of God. The hymn writer said, "More of His saving fullness see, more of His love who died for me." And so through the time of preaching and praying and prophesying and participating, our earnest desire is that they'll bring us to the threshold of the burning bush, from where the glow of the glory of God from the throne of grace is visible to us. David said in Psalm 50 verse 2, he said, "Out of Zion, the perfection of beauty, God has shined." So please, I want you this day to pursue God, to pursue Him. I have two friends. They happen to be Muslims, and I've seen things that have challenged me in their lives. One of them, because of the fasting season, someone approached him to shake his hand, and he said, "No, I still have to spend some time doing some kind of prayer or ritual or whatever it was." The other one openly and publicly spread out his prayer mat in the view of the public. They're both physicians, and just prayed openly and publicly. And I was asking myself, I said, ought not we that have access to the living God, ought we not to be more persuaded, more passionate, more convinced in our pursuit of God? It's the question I'm asking myself, and I pray that this in this program you will find that passion and you would pursue your Lord. He has great things in store for you. God has spoken great things concerning each and every one of you, and I pray that the blessings of God will dwell richly in your life. I've spoken too much. It was supposed to be 2 minutes. David, you will forgive me. I think it's almost 6 minutes. But I love you all, and I know that things will never be the same. I salute our ministers. I thank you for being there. We love you. We appreciate you. And your fruit of labor this weekend will bear mighty fruit of revival in the land. God bless you all in Jesus' precious name. This is Ike. You could say Brother Ike. You could say Pastor Ike. You could say Bro. That would be acceptable too. All right. Thank you very much. God bless you.